Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Coruscant Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seals, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population U. Look, we're going to make that catch on, and we're going to find out how it catches on at the live show.
It caught on for us.
Yeah,
we're just waiting for everybody else to get on board.
I think we need to start by saying, hey townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town.
Would it be funny if we did that, and then the only part people join in for is the hey townies, and then we're stuck up there doing it.
Us on a limb. That would be great. This is Dumb People Town, and you've entered, and we are happy that you're here. And I want to thank everyone for joining the damn Facebook page, liking it, just basically engaging.
I've never felt more proud of winning a meat raffle than all the people who are.
A lot of people like what you do because a lot of people like you.
Well, you won a meat raffle, and then you got fish. That to me is funny.
Some people count. I had options.
You're the type of guy that wins a meat raffle and chooses fish.
That
tells you everything you need to know about Dan.
You guys would have gone for the fish too if you saw the meat in the back of that truck.
That's true. I don't like truck meat. You know another guy who doesn't like truck meat? I'm assuming he doesn't like truck meat, but maybe he does.
Our guest
today from the amazing show that probably a lot of you watch, and if you don't watch it, you should be watching it. Impractical Jokers. Sal Vulcano.
Thank you. Yes. Hello. Hi, townies.
Hey, right?
Happy to be in town.
Hey, man, I am happy that you're in town because you're not based out here. You're New York. You're East Coast, and we don't really get a chance to hang that much because we're not on the East Coast as much as we have been in the past. We got to hang at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival, of which we were all there.
So much fun.
And we got to do the goddamn comedy jam with you.
Yes.
You were phenomenal in that. Great job on the song.
That's very kind of you.
Which was really fun, and the story as well. We talked deep about stand-up and you getting into stand-up, which you're doing now, which is awesome. And then I got to see you do really well on Kill Tony, which is another podcast that we love, Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast.
That was crazy.
That was a trip. No pun intended.
No, but there was like a fight, like someone pushed Jeremiah, and it was...
What?
Yeah, like a guy got up on mushrooms.
The way I would describe
Who gets on mushrooms and gets like fighty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
mushrooms, as of today we're recording this, mushrooms were just declared the safest of all recreational drugs. That guy fighting the average.
Yeah, that guy's trying to bring it the other way around.
Twisting the bell curve.
Well, Impractical Jokers is on what season are you guys on at this point?
We're filming and airing simultaneously season 6. Nice. We're signed through 7, and we'll see what happens.
Are you amazed at how it goes to show how being specific with your buddies and really it's something you guys would do to. This is what I keep imagining.
I'm like, if the cameras weren't on, they would be doing this
to each other.
We did it. We do it, and we did it. We do it right to this day.
Yeah.
I was with them today. We had to do a few things. Something's always going on.
You're fucking with each other all the time.
It's nonstop.
And so, but that then gets opened up to the world, and seeing how the world has responded to that. Like, you go on the road, you guys do shows collectively together. Are you amazed at how you're like, this is just us fucking around?
It's completely amazing. It's surreal.
Yeah.
Never expected it. Never thought it would take. Never thought it'd be that relatable. Where people have, the fans are really loyal. They're really engaged fans.
Yeah.
They're on board. They have their favorites. They feel like they know us, which is a blessing and a curse.
Of course, on some level, but at the same time, you guys are willing to show enough of yourselves.
And you're willing to be vulnerable and make yourself the butt of the joke.
And be the butt of a joke, and like kind of put yourself in a position that, look, everybody kind of dreams of fucking with their friends in that way, of like putting their friends in the worst position ever. Like, we all have the stories of just how we literally got over on our friends in that way, and that's literally, that fantasy gets fulfilled every single time you do the.
It's crazy that it's our job.
Yeah, it's so
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You guys are funny dudes as well. Like, you can tell. Like, I'm sure the people come to your shows and want to come up to you, fans of shows, say, I got buddies that were like that. I'm sure you get a lot of that.
You get it a lot.
You get a lot. And then also, like, I love your relationship with each other. I mean, that to me is the thing that I'm drawn to on the show. Like, fucking with people is one thing, but like the relationships between you guys is the thing that I really connect with the most on the show, which I think is great.
That's awesome. Yeah, we met in 1990 in high school, so we're 41. So we've known each other for 28, 20.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. It's getting a chance to do something with your friends in a way that is like super sweet, and I hope nothing ever comes between you, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, we've gone through it, so we're pretty solid for where we are after all this time.
Yeah, it's great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the idea that you see people in their moments, and especially when they've been pushed to the limit, you see people in those moments. And
That's
I feel
what
like
this show is about.
Right. I feel like you have a deep understanding of when people are in that desperate moment that they will do anything and they will grasp onto anything, and you've been there yourself.
Yes.
So with that, I say let's jump into a story here in Dumb People Town. Daniel Van Kirk.
Yes. All right, let's do it. Guys, I want to remind everybody, there's so many people. We've never been hit with so many great stories and so many loyal listeners.
So many different
researchers
contributing.
Yes, and so I wanted to just give a quick little helpful hint, because I love getting as many as possible. And people have been like, hey, how do you pick these? How does it go? Twitter is always the best way, because they put everything there. At Daniel Van Kirk is my Twitter handle.
First person who you see, you go from there.
I just go through the Twitter timeline. So hashtag it Dumb People Town. And then the other thing I can help you with, guys, is no hurting kids, no hurting animals, and nobody murdering.
Nobody dies.
I believe that the person sending it could find the humor in some of those things.
Sure.
I don't know if I can.
Let's be honest. Some people deserve to be murdered.
Right.
Okay, so let's just
now look,
get that on the table.
We've done stories where people have died.
Yes.
And those have to be so funny
that you can.
There was once the woman. Dude, listen to this. There was a woman. A guy gets to work at like 5 a.m. We're getting a bonus quick little story for everybody. A guy gets to work at 5 a.m, notices a mannequin in the parking lot, says, not my job to clean that up. Spends the rest of the day fighting with his other coworkers about who's going to go clean up the mannequin.
Yeah.
They end up finding out it was like an 87-year-old woman who had jumped to her death. Now, that worked because, one, these people were so dumb
that they didn't understand.
87, you feel like she went out doing something she loved. Jumping from a building.
Taking an
87, she jumped?
Yes.
She made it to 87 and said, I cannot do it anymore at 87?
Woman's got hops.
I mean, is that Chris Rock's bit about Nelson Mandela getting a divorce?
Yeah,
it was his bit about, like, he went through prison. He could live through prison.
Came out of prison and then was like, I can't live another minute in this.
I'd like to get the stats on how many suicides happen above like 80, 85.
I'm sure it's like...
She's probably in a class of her own.
She's in a league of her own.
She is.
There's no crying and suicide.
No, there's no crying and jumping.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, on that level, everybody else was so dumb, and she did it to herself. So there's ways it can work. But as a rule... Everything else is fair game.
I know we want to continue, but I have a question.
You're a guest.
Yeah,
you're in the town. Everybody's got a wheel.
All right. Did they find evidence that it was a suicide?
They're assuming that she jumped. Yeah.
So
They could
it's
see
just a
the-
flat assumption because she could have fell out of the window back.
Yeah,
She could have fell out of the car.
Did she
She's
leave?
87.
Did she leave a note with like a quill pen?
She
A
crossed
shaky
stitched.
note with like a $5 check.
Oh,
No.
just the car.
That's everyone's grandma.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke. I'll stand behind that joke. I
good.
didn't make
All
it.
right, thank
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
This one was sent in by Ryan at Ryan Rogers, RyanRogers.
He's a new contributor, I believe.
Yes. I don't think we've met
think
Ryan
we've
before.
done
Welcome
it
to the town, Ryan.
Okay.
Here we go. A man and woman are accused of making a public spectacle in Kent. I believe it's Ohio. No,
England.
No. You want to guess?
England, Ohio? Where is this? In Kent?
Outside of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Are accused of making a public spectacle in Kent, Washington at the end of last month by having sex in a restaurant parking lot
Yeah.
in plain view of a busy intersection.
What time of day is it? Is this going to be a question? What time of day is
Well,
it?
we can do that.
Okay.
There's two. There's
Okay.
another one I was
And
doing, so we
what
might as well do
restaurant?
two. But here's what I
And
love.
what Chili's?
The next, they would not give the Chili's. I went into Google Maps, put in the address. I figured out what restaurant this was.
Okay, I love it, Dan. You're doing sleuth
I'm
work.
going deep. I'll go deep in the town.
Can we guess? Can we give like hot and cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I want you to give us a hint and see if we can get it. Is it a chain?
No.
It's not a chain.
No, but maybe we can go type of food.
Okay, type of food. What do you think? Tex-Mex? Or is that...
Well, you don't even know what time yet.
Yeah, what
Which
time?
could also influence,
Okay.
if it's late at night, you're probably going to assume like late night bar.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe the Bees.
Pub.
Which is
Why did you say Tex-Mex? Because
I don't know.
I don't know why, but I was thinking Mexican or
You think
Tex-Mex.
Mexican? Only because, Sal...
Sloppy. I was thinking sloppy
And also,
food,
you're like, if
sloppy
we
sex.
don't have sex now, someone's going to have
All right,
diarrhea.
Sal,
We gotta do it
we'll
right
let
now.
you go with your gut, go with anything you want. You can go first or last. What type of restaurant is this?
Oh God!
He said Mexican.
I think there was probably a bar attached to it, so maybe like a bar and grill. So I'm thinking maybe like is like a just a bar and grill, like American type bar and grill?
Is that what you're going with? Like
I'm
American
thinking that
Fare
maybe
Bar
the
and Grill?
happy hour was involved.
Nice.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of margaritas.
Okay. All right.
People get all of a sudden they get courageous.
All right. American Fare Bar and Grill.
Courage. Parking lot courage.
Jason Sklar.
I'm going to say Italian.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying Olive Garden because I know it's not an Olive
Right.
Garden, but like, it's a Mamma Mia moment, like I'm inside
You
of
gotta
you.
agree. Hey.
And a handicapped spot. What am I doing?
Sal Vulcano. Wait, are you Staten Island? No.
Yeah, Staten
Ridgely,
Island. Although
Staten.
Long Island, Staten Island, New Jersey, they're kind of similar.
I know.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's just one bridge that goes the whole way. Verrazano goes the whole way.
Yes.
I'm going to say Tex-Mex. Again, I stand by my
Okay.
idea that, like, look, if there was, like, diarrhea could play a factor in it.
The great
You know?
thing is, none of you are dead on, but one of you is closest.
I'm going to be the bar. It's the American bar that has to be closest.
What is it?
I'm going to give away the time. We'll do a quiz for another thing. They say this. They have sex in a near a busy
parking lot,
intersection.
yeah.
Then they write, and that's not the end of the alleged indecency. Right then, I was like, keep reading.
Keep
Dan.
reading,
Here we
keep
go.
reading.
Two people called 911 at about 11:40 a.m.
Time
we
banging.
brunch fucking.
Yeah, we brunch.
We brunch
yes.
fucking.
That was like too many mimosas up
Yeah.
in this.
April 30th to report two people publicly engaged in sex at El Señor Polo de Kent. Max, you should have gone with your instincts. You should have gone with that instinct.
Diarrhea does play a factor.
You
now
felt
in this.
that Mexican. You knew that some sort of mariachi band had walked them out to the parking lot.
This
The
is why.
first thing I thought of.
This is why people want a wall. This is why they want the wall.
Jason, engaged in sex.
I didn't say me.
I know.
A wall around the parking lot would
Wall
have
around
helped,
these two people.
would have helped everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was at El Señor Polo de Kent. What is that? The Mr.
The
Chicken
Mr.
Kent?
Chicken of Kent.
The Mr. Chicken of Kent.
Located
Which now I'm thinking of Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Mr. Chicken.
Yeah. El
Well,
Pollo
the
Chicken
Romano.
Man. The Chicken Man.
I mean, is this restaurant is like loose? Is that a loose term restaurant? Is it like a
No,
fast
they're an
food?
establishment.
We have
they're
we all have our
waitresses?
rules. We
Yeah,
have
I
rules.
would go
We have
waitresses.
rules.
We have rules.
If the tables are nailed down, it's not
Not
a
a
restaurant.
restaurant.
If you order it to go
Okay.
or for here and they still give it to you in a bag,
Not a restaurant.
Okay.
If there are cash registers on the counter where you order it,
Right.
not a
If
restaurant.
any signage is not on chalk but is handwritten, not a restaurant.
Got it.
Anyway,
So
if it was made before you walked in, not a restaurant.
If there's no registers where you order, you might be in a restaurant.
exactly.
So I can't believe 11:30.
Yes,
This is crazy.
For the walking tour, El Señor Polo de Kent, we have a great walking tour because they always give the location
So
for
if
no
you
reason.
are in Kent.
At 501 Central Avenue North at the intersection of East Pioneer Street, according to Kent Police.
By the way, we have a lot of great listeners in the Seattle-Tacoma area. So
They're gonna go there.
Someone is going to go there and take a picture of this.
Do you
That's
give
what
the
I love,
locations to every story?
Oh, yeah. So
They
that
give
like
them,
So
we give
people
them.
go and like
Come and take a
directions.
picture.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Like if you are a couple that listens to this, maybe go and recreate it,
Yeah.
or both of you lay
Or
down
at
in
least
the area.
take a picture of your margaritas and say pre-fuck meal.
Yes.
I love this. I love
And this
this.
is definitely a liquid brunch. We all understand.
Yes.
Oh,
Straight up margaritas
a lot was
and
bottomless.
nothing else.
A lot was bottomless at this
Just
place.
someone said the term, could you please top this off?
Yes.
That was said at 10. That led to the 11:30.
Can you say that to someone you're about to have sex to?
Please top this off.
Do you want a tequila floater for $3 extra? Yes.
Is that even a question? Is the thing that followed that?
A 37-year-old man had his pants down and genitals exposed while a largely naked, I don't know how we're supposed to take that, while a largely naked 36-year-old woman,
Age appropriate.
Largely
I like
naked
this
to me
relationship.
says that there's a lot of surface area. And I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying largely
she's
naked.
out of your body.
Maybe she's tall. Maybe she can palm like a volleyball.
largely-
because it's not mostly naked. It's
largely naked.
It's
Which
a very
seems
different.
like a bit of shade.
Read between the lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Largely naked 36-year-old woman performed sexual acts on him, more than one, according to witness reports. They then progressed to other positions.
By the way, I love that we're assuming that they ate there. That may not,
this might be their special parking lot.
their place. Honey, are we going to do this?
But there are those people who are like, they need that, like,
Oh, yeah.
excitement of the
Yes.
exposure.
Remember the
to
original
get it
movie
going.
titled Crash? It was all about people having sex in car accidents.
Oh, yeah,
was
that's
that?
right.
That was like mid-90s
Yeah,
or something like that.
Ludacris was in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Spader in it too?
Which is
Yes.
just
That's crazy.
ridiculous.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to say what you think.
According to witness reports, they then progressed to other positions, but witnesses reiterated that the pair were blank feet from the restaurant. How many feet?
How close to the
from
restaurant?
the restaurant door? Where were these two people
Where
going?
people
at?
could be going in and out. It is
Sally,
brunch.
You are a guest. You have the opportunity to go first or last here. It's up to you.
I'm fine with going first.
Okay. How many feet do you think they were from the restaurant?
I feel like if the foot, if the amount, if the distance was noted, that means it probably is. It probably makes the story better. So I'm assuming closer
Yeah,
okay.
than further. Because if they're at the end of the parking lot, they wouldn't say they were 150 feet away.
Right.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they have no shame whatsoever. I mean, it's not like they were looking for cover.
No.
I'm going to say it would be a better story if anything was within 50 feet.
Okay, so 50 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they
Randy
were.
Sklar.
I'm going to say they were 21 feet away from
21
the door.
feet
That's
away.
it.
And can I just tell you what my instinct was? 20, but again, I'm not going to play this game the whole
For the listener at home, Jason has already shook his head in a negative way because he feels like these two are either way off or someone took his number.
Less. I'm going less. 11. The second
11
you asked,
feet from the door.
I saw an 11-foot measurement. I don't
So
know why.
someone had to step over them just to
Almost.
get in. Okay,
Almost.
Fine.
They were 10 feet.
I knew it.
Oh my goodness.
This could have been 11. They probably rounded it down to make it seem easier.
That is unbelievable.
Restaurant
too close to
patrons
the door.
could see activity through the windows. No shit. Police found the woman with an open beer container aboard a King County Metro bus. So what happened is they end up fleeing.
Yeah.
And now the police are in pursuit.
And they took the beer.
Public transportation and the beer.
Look, at least they're not driving. Someone else is doing the driving. That's kind of
someone
you know
responsible.
what? You got to give it there. You got to
There's
give
a
it
lot
there.
of responsibility.
Why didn't they do it on the bus?
Aboard
Also, it's better for the environment, public transportation.
Thank you.
So these guys are
Somebody.
being conscious on some level.
And then they also detained the man while he walked away from the scene.
Yeah.
And you know that they were slowly cruising by him as he was like, sorry, don't know you. No, we're good.
We're good.
Everything's good.
I don't know.
Just a man walking on the shoulder of the road. Why
you
am
know
I?
that he, in one moment, said she went that way.
Yeah.
They split up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A witness confirmed that the man and woman were the ones having sex. Kent police say the 36-year-old man has a history of public nuisance crimes, including a 2013 indecent exposure convictions. Jason, this is his thing.
Thank you. That's what I said.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying the woman. The woman has one of those, so it's her thing. Right. She is also known to expose herself.
Do you know how hideous you have to be for someone to actually make that an indecent exposure? Like, if an attractive woman is like a little flasheroo, then you're down in Mardi Gras. Now, if this person is like bothering people,
right,
it means that the indecency, we're focusing on that part.
And maybe that's the double standard we need to eliminate.
I agree. Look, even if you're hot, you got to get slapped with something.
She is also known to expose herself to the public and to responding police officers.
Yep,
you boys here for the show?
Here we go.
She's known to?
Yeah.
Known to.
In what circles?
I don't know. I imagine her yelling, we're about to have some boys in blue balls.
That's right.
Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I always say, in almost every story, there's one sentence that puts it in the center of the square of Dumb People Town. I'm going to read it now.
Let's hear it.
In this incident, she allegedly exposed herself to a police officer and removed a dandelion from her vagina.
Wow. Isn't that feels like a Todd Solondz movie? That also
Dandelion
could
in the
feel like a
vagina?
scene from American Beauty.
Yes.
It's a porn version of a Terrence Malick script.
Yes.
Dandelion and a vagina.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yes. After she was arrested, she reportedly stripped naked in the Kent jail cell. This girl, she's on brand. You have to
By
give
the way,
her that.
clothes
Consistent.
can't keep this woman down.
Yeah.
When
you know what you're getting with her.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's in certain circles. She's known to do it.
She's Naked Nancy. Like, that's what they call her when she comes in,
Right.
and she's just like, Naked Nancy.
There's no way she didn't throw out a, well, what did you guys expect for the cops?
Totally. You
heard
knew
the
who
call.
you were dealing with.
You heard the call.
It's not like I wasn't this and then became this.
Like
I've
she's
always been
she's
this.
probably done it so much. You know how like a 187 is a murder, and a
She's got her own
228 is like a 225, 220
Sure.
is like a break and entry.
We can come up with our own codes.
She's got her own code. She's like Jeff, we got a 148. Oh shit,
148.
Police found a substance believed to be PCP in the man's possession.
Of course,
They're rolling
it's a 211.
Don't forget, guys. We're fucking in parking lots next to restaurants,
Yeah.
doing PCP and drinking on a bus before noon.
Before noon.
They're like the army.
We
of
do
drugs.
more before noon than you do in your entire day.
Yeah,
That's the most motivated, to-do list. Like, when you think about it, like, what else was on her to-do list after that?
laundry.
To be fair, they probably, neither of them subscribe to a man-made time construct.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Totally
it's just
true.
a flat circle.
Yeah.
Just parking
Time
lots
is a
and flat
continuum.
Let's continue.
They find PCP in the man's possession.
Yeah.
They suspected, I love this, based on his grunts and blank stares, that he was under influence of PCP at the time of his possession. He was Tim Allening them. The pair were charged with indecent exposure, and the man was additionally charged with a drug crime.
There you go.
That shit.
First story.
And yet, at the same time, don't you think, like, if people enjoyed it, like, the Mexican restaurants, like, maybe we need to do this.
Maybe we need to start having some live,
No press is bad press.
Right?
live sex show Sundays. Come on,
Where do
that
I
is-
want to put this dandelion?
I mean,
You can put it in your
I'm trying to
pocket.
hold both these beers.
This ain't
can-
your mama's brunch.
That's right. Put it in your pockets.
in a dandelion,
a dandelion
too.
is
It's like the perfect.
for a second, when you first said dandelion, I thought it was one of those milkweed things that you blow and then it all
Yeah,
disappears.
is that not what it is?
That's
No,
not what it is.
dandelion is yellow.
It's a weed.
Oh, then what's that?
That's a
Isn't
milkweed.
that what a dandelion becomes?
No.
I think that's
I
a
always thought
dandelion.
that. I always thought a dandelion ends
I'm
up
gonna look
being
it up.
that.
I'm gonna look
I don't
it up.
know.
Well, whatever.
I guarantee
the
we're
fact
gonna
that it's a
find out.
dandelion definitely makes it less crude.
Yeah, the fact that it's a dandelion makes it performance art on
Right.
some level.
And
You know
a
what I mean?
carnation would make it more
Oh,
sad.
you're right. That is a dandelion.
Yeah, a dandelion is the yellow to the...
That is it.
It's what
little-
it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prior to the cops coming, she was just storing it there.
right.
that what it is? That
It
was
was
just-
yellow when it went in.
Well,
It came out.
It started
Oh,
this.
that's what it is.
And then when it came out,
that.
you could blow her entire.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right. We'll be right back with some more hot dandelion talk here on Dumb People Town.
Her dandelion holster.
old And you know what? I think they're going to start referring to her as old dandelion vagina. Old dandelion vag.
Also, is PCP is like, I feel like it's a real throwback
Old
drug.
school, right? We're doing PCB and a lot of uppers. Like a weird, and
greenies.
Barbiturates.
Some lubes.
Right, exactly.
She had a lot of barbiturates.
She had a couple of ludes, quaaludes, barbiturates, and PCP. All right, that's how
Angel
we do it.
dust. Is that what they call it?
That's our first story in Dumb People Town with Sal Vulcano. You're gonna want to stick around because there are great stories, 2 more stories, and a special voicemail coming up right after this.
Stick around, make a sound, there's more Dumb People Town.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Dumb People Town. We're with Sal, not Sal Vulcano. Let me follow you on Twitter.
Yes, you're a good follow on Twitter. So tell everybody the...
Thank you. It's my name. It's at Sal Vulcano, Vulcano.
Nice.
Look at that. And watch the show. Guys, want to remind people, as we always do, we got this live show coming up on June 8th. So live here in LA. It's our first live one at the castle, at the Harmon Castle. So
Starburns Castle, and we will print the... and we've put the link to the tickets, and Daniel put that up on the Facebook page.
It's already up.
It's already up on the Facebook
The
page.
event is all set up. You can go straight to the link through there.
Let's see if we can't sell this thing out. I know there are a lot of people who listen to the show in the LA area. We're going to have a great
doing
guest.
it live is super fun.
It is really fun. We did it
thing.
live at Moon Tower, which we had a blast doing, and you guys just did the Vegas festival.
Yeah, crapshoot. Oh, that was just me. Yeah.
It was just you.
Yes.
And it was a bit of a crapshoot. Great time for the comedians, but it's a new festival. It's gaining its
it was the first year. There was the people who ran it were amazing. It was like such a fun hang for comics.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They had a suite up at the top. It was like the presidential suite at the top of the hotel.
And you could just go up there and hang out.
Hotel?
It was the El Cortez.
Nice.
Old school Vegas, right?
Right?
Yeah, what was cool was it was huge, this thing, and it was open bar food 24/7, massages, beard trimmings, haircuts, hairstyling, makeup,
happy endings,
everything.
The great thing is too is like that festival. I hope that festival comes back and does more, because Vegas is such a close, fun place to go for comics.
Right.
And then I know that the people who live there have so many entertainment options, but there's so many diehard great comedy fans who live in and around that area that if it comes back next year, I hope a whole bunch of more people come out to it again, because it'd be a thing that easily comics would love to do. Like, oh, you can run over there. You could literally take the 11 o'clock at night flight back to LA if you had to get back really quick. Like, it's a really good option and a place for so many people.
And my favorite part of doing festivals is the hang.
Yeah.
You get to see everyone. And when the festival groups it so that like the venues are close by and there's a hub up for everyone, that you really get like a fun few days out, because you get to see people you don't see all the time.
Well, I mean, that's what we love, because when we go out and do the road, you're just you in Kansas City. It's not like 8 other people. Although Nick Thune was in Kansas City doing a show with Emily Heller. We didn't see her, but a couple weeks ago, and we were like, meet us out here at this. We'd finished up our shows on Saturday night, and he came and met us out, and it was phenomenal.
It's so much fun seeing people.
Sal, I want to tell you if maybe you could break it down a little bit for people who might not have seen it, but one of my favorite things you guys have ever done on Impractical Jokers is the pass it on thing in the grocery store.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tell this to people who maybe should go check this out or haven't.
Sure.
The length that you guys got this to go.
That's a relatively new bit. We just filmed the second one of that. It's the concept. A lot of people, when they describe our show, the easiest way to describe it is we tell each other what to do in the earpiece.
Sure.
But that's about only a third of the show.
Yeah. Right. It's you get people involved in something.
Yeah. So the rest is like we make up things and the game here was we played stock boys in a supermarket that were about 100 feet apart. And we were doing busy work stocking. And the goal was we had to stop a customer and say, can you do me a favor?
And take this down.
Yeah, I can't go over there right now, but I got to pass on this message. Can you tell my friend this? So they had to walk 100 feet and then
remember the message.
And then the other guy has to get them to send the response back, and so on and so forth, until the person gives
so
up.
Deep.
Yeah.
And if they give up
so deep
during your volley, then you lose. And it's crazy because the people like you
want to be nice at first.
Yes,
like what you guys understand about human nature, what you've learned about human nature, and
that people want to help.
It's almost like
to a point.
Sometimes
it's a sociology experiment.
Exactly
in
right.
The best possible
That's
way.
what we call the show. We actually don't even call it a prank show. We call it a sociological.
You guys are testing the human condition in a very hilarious way.
And a lot of times, like people, if you guys are probably aces at this, but like I pride myself on being pretty good at being able to spot out who will go along with something.
Yeah.
And so even sometimes when they realize like, oh, this is ridiculous, they still will just. I've gotten TSA people to like go in on a bit with other comics, be like, tell them you can't get on the phone.
Oh,
with that
for
hat.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
And if you pick the right one, they'll go.
And they're so happy.
And they're so happy that you joined.
Yeah,
them
that's something we learned, like how to pick what would be a good thing, a good person for television and for us and for the bit. And also, we're always surprised about. That's the other thing. That's the variable. The people are the variable.
Right.
We're still to this day surprised at how far people will go with stuff. We got that person to go back and forth.
Gosh,
I think it was close to 20 times.
That is the great.
And it was all about a party.
So funny.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I was like the popularity of a show like Jersey Shore. Okay. Right. Those guys, and we got actually to see when they were super famous, still doing the show. We did a thing with Kathy Griffin down in San Diego
for the troops.
She did this huge show. We wrote for her, and like those guys, like The Situation came on the show. So those guys are a bunch of old friends who are hanging around. They're just not talented. Like they're not funny. They're not.
I don't think they were friends before they met on the show, though.
No, they were. A couple of them knew each other, but they weren't close friends. You're right.
Close friends.
They knew of each other,
but like but they tried to engender this thing of like, hey, we're all family and we're all this thing, whatever, with no talent. And so like all the editing had to make them seem like they were doing. You guys, it's all of that great stuff that the editors had to make, a false thing actually seem that way. And you guys have it already. And so again, it's just that's the reason you want to watch it. Cause I'm like, oh yeah, this is what you want it to be. Right. This is what it should have been. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you guys respond to it. Absolutely.
Totally, man. So let people know when it's on and when they can see it.
So it's on, it's airing now. Actually, we just had our mid-season break. So it comes back in a few weeks. I should know.
True TV.
True TV Thursdays at 10.
It's great.
Yeah.
Set the DVR. If people want to go back and watch old ones, what's the best way to do that?
DVR it or just turn on the channel because they play the shit out of it.
So there'll be a marathon. You'll be able to check that out.
Check it out.
Do you have favorite episodes?
Well, now we're over 150 episodes.
It's crazy.
It's tough to figure it out, but I have favorite moments I can remember. But believe it or not, a lot of times I watch something back, I don't even remember doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, we're 7 years we're filming.
Well,
now.
was there anything you did where you're like, no, I'm not going to do that? I know you guys kind of have to say your yes to everything.
Well, no, we could say no during the show, but then we'd lose, and then you can't say no to the punishment at the end.
Right.
So, really, you're not allowed. I mean, that's the pact.
Yeah,
So you're not allowed to say no at the end. Well, for instance, I have a tattoo of a accurate portrait of Jaden Smith on my thigh.
That is the fun.
Because I lost, and they got to choose. They got to choose the tattoo, and I couldn't look at it until it was done.
You're not married.
No.
Are you dating anyone right now?
No.
Okay. So you have to explain to a future spouse
or any woman you engage with.
Oh yeah, I have a whole stand-up bit about it.
That is,
it's ridiculous because it's happened. I forget I have it. Mm-hmm. Even if I go get like a massage or something at like the hotel or whatever,
it's like a fucked up memento. Like you now suddenly all this, like you're seeing your life happen in tattoos.
So it's a 15-year-old boy on my thigh.
That's my son. That's my son.
My godson.
You can make the joke that like, I'm so sorry that he passed away. No, he did not pass away. He should. He should be.
I'm thinking of getting Jada, Will, and Willow like a Smith family Mount Rushmore on that.
Make it up, dude. Make it a family portrait.
Just make it a family portrait.
You guys want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. This was sent in by ST at Proletarian Pawn.
Never heard this one before. There's a new person sending it. I love it.
Now look, the story I'm about to give you guys, there's a person who committed the crime, but in my opinion, the dumb people are everyone around this person.
I like this is different. Okay.
Big Horn Cinema Manager. Yep.
I love him already.
Yep. Jacob Graham told police he thought Skylar Landerman of Cody was, quote, possessed by a demon. I'm going to tell you guys right now, that motherfucker's possessed by a demon. I don't know what charge that falls. Is that like a 694 or something like that? But that motherfucker is possessed by a demon.
Skylar Landerman is...
Run with it, Jay. Where are you going?
Any one of like 6 different Disney XD characters.
Skylar
Landerman.
Skylar Landerman has never landed a trick on his skateboard. You know what I mean?
But attempted
it every day.
Skylar Landerman always takes a big hit when he's smoking weed and always coughs way too much. And you're like, take less.
Take less.
Take less, Skylar Landerman. Skylar Landerman shows up late and he's like, Landerman's here.
Yeah.
In third person, right?
Yeah, Skylar Landerman is the type of guy that announces himself as being in the building.
Yeah, Skylar Landerman's in the building.
I love that his name literally, whether it's by sky or by land, this motherfucker's in the building.
I'm in the house.
Yeah, and even when he's in like a low-rise structure or otherwise, it's in the building.
in the building.
The house.
Yeah, it's a.
If he meets his friend at the park, he's like, Landerman in the building.
And his
No,
name
we're
is
outdoors. Outside,
His name is almost too long to yell out on a basketball court. You can't go like, Landerman! Like, you know what I mean? You need something real like, Sal, up top. Sal. But you get like a Landerman. That's too, the ball's moved.
Whenever Skylar Landerman plays pickup basketball, he always waits to see if the ball goes in if he calls a foul.
That's Skylar Landerman.
If it goes out, I got it.
It goes off.
Landerman foul.
I got it.
Foul on
According to
Landerman.
an affidavit of probable cause filed by Cody police officer John Harris, the incident began a little before 11 p.m. Sunday night. Now, if you think about it, we're in a small town.
Small town on a
Movie
Sunday night.
theater, Sunday night,
cinema.
11, you know that they're just ready to be like, don't even use the popcorn from yesterday. Nobody's coming in.
Nobody's coming in. We're fine. This is going to be a coaster right
Although to me, Jay Graham sounded like the guy who was like, "How you doing, Jay Graham?" What was the name of the place?
Manager.
Longhorn Magic.
Bighorn
Jay Graham.
Cinema. That's right.
Yeah.
Because he's guy now he's like he's not just doing his because he could go in and do the least bit of work he needs to,
Right.
but he's spotting possessed people.
Like, did you make business cards?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think you need business cards.
First Bighorn Cinema manager with business cards.
What is master projectionist? Is that even
That
a
is a
level of
little
projection?
grandiose.
It just says Jacob Graham aspiring. That's what it says under his name. That seems a
It says
little.
Jacob Graham ascending.
Skylar Landerman.
If someone handed you a business card that said Jacob Graham ascending, what would you do?
Just like
I would be interested on that.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? He's really on the rise.
Yeah.
Skylar Landerman had come into the Bighorn Cinema hours earlier to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Or as my son calls it, Guardians of the Galaxy Vol 2. I'm like, that is there's a long, no, it's Vol 2.
Okay.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And then he says lol.
Yeah, he says hashtag lol.
Hashtag lol.
This report of him coming in hours earlier came from cinema owner Tony Beaverson. Tony Beav.
It's the Beav. What's up, Beav?
Beav.
Leave
What's
it to
up, Beav?
Beaverson. What's up?
Look, I know I own the cinema, guys, but I want you to know I'm like your friend. Trust me.
Beav.
Call me the Beav.
Beav.
And Doug says the Beav, you say the Beav.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm the owner, but I'm also your friend. Guys, no drinking on the premises, but you can out back.
Beav's out.
Chant.
Beav's out. He always brings a microphone and drops it at the end of whatever.
Guys, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but maybe when I walk into the theater, everybody goes, Beavs. That's how it's
You
not
don't
again.
have to,
You
but
don't
if you
have
want
to.
to.
If you want to, I think I'd like it.
Yeah,
Beav.
happy boss, no loss. You know what I'm saying?
Beavs.
Beaverson said he was told by his staff that, quote, when Skylar Landerman came in, there was no reason for concern. He looked like everybody else just coming to a movie.
What is that?
I don't know.
I mean, is there a way to describe everyone coming to the movie? Like lethargic?
Just cattle.
Yeah.
By
Looking
His
at their
soul
feet.
had left his body.
By a little before 11, that had changed. Before Guardians was finished, Skylar Landerman exited the theater and asked Graham, who was reading a fantasy... asked Jacob Graham, they put this in there, who was reading a fantasy novel by the snack counter. He is deep into Wheel of Time and just wants to be left
I
alive.
file that under who gives a shit about any of these details.
So he walks over to Jacob Graham, who's reading a fantasy novel by the snack counter, and asked him for a lighter. Okay?
Okay.
Skylar Landerman wants a lighter.
PCP again. There's a common thread through these.
Right? Do you have a spoon and a
Graham
lighter?
told him he didn't have one, and Landerman went outside. 5 minutes later, though, he was pounding on the locked glass doors. So, as with most deals, they obviously locked him from the outside. for
Thank
the
God
night.
he's gone.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, here's
Done
where
with this.
everyone else starts to be dumb. I mean,
Right.
Skylar Landerman, we already know he was born into problems.
That's right.
This guy comes back pounding on the doors.
Sure.
He wants to get back into the movie.
The movie is almost over. You're trying to read a fantasy novel.
Yep.
Right?
Jacob Graham let him back in. Oh, that's where he made a mistake.
That's so not like Graham.
Not good, yeah.
No,
Jacob Graham,
that's
you know
like
protocol. You know the procedure.
Right.
Once
but
you're
when
out.
he asked what was wrong, could have asked him before he let him in, Skylar Landerman said, quote, "I'm tripping on acid."
No.
Okay.
Again, now.
By the way, that's the excuse.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
There's no more. He just gave you the reason
That
why
is
he is
the key to the
If
mystery.
you're ever working anywhere or even your house and someone leaves and they come back pounding, ask them what's wrong
going on
before you let
open
them
the
back
door.
in. Ever.
It's not like you can't speak through a glass door.
Especially, according to the affidavit.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I bet you Graham is tired of Beaverson being good cop.
Yeah.
And he's bad cop all the time. So I bet
I
you
want to
he's
be
like-
good
Let me
cop.
let the
I
guy
want to
in.
be good cop.
Right.
Well, here's where it really turns. According to the affidavit, Jacob Graham told Skylar Landerman to sit on the bench, but then Skylar Landerman, quote, called Jacob Graham a reptilian and started jumping around the lobby. Okay. Here we go. We have started the slope.
Yeah.
We have started. I'm feeling like
You reptilian.
Skylar got really freaked out by Guardians of the Galaxy.
What are you doing
Volume
tonight,
2.
Skylar? I'm going to just drop some acid and go see Guardians of the
Alone.
Galaxy Vol.
Alone
2.
on a Sunday
Alone.
night. In Graham's account, I love that you called it Vol 2, Randy.
Yeah, Vol 2.
In Graham's account, he got Landerman to sit down again. How about you get him
Out.
to leave?
Yeah. Out and
That's what you'd be
the
like, you know
locked
what?
door.
Here, there's no reptiles outside, buddy. I got you.
Yeah.
Like, lean in on their trip.
Let's all go outside.
Everybody's going outside. You
We're
go
all
first.
going.
I got the door, dude. Go first. Go first.
Because he was afraid of what was going
No,
to come
he was
out.
too dumb to do that. In Graham's account, he got Landerman to sit down again, but then Skylar got violent. He punched Jacob in the face. Ooh. And when the theater employee went behind the counter to call police, Skylar Landerman hit him again. You want to get distance between you and the guy punching
Get up in the
Calling the-
projection room.
you. Right.
A lot of hits. That's a lot of hits.
Graham wasn't seriously hurt, so that's why we're okay doing this. Skylar Landerman is a private first class, this is where it took place, in Wyoming. Might be our first Wyoming.
Yeah, wow.
In the Wyoming National Guard, and his Facebook page, Sal, I believe, like with your knowledge of the human spirit, you could have called this, indicates he has an interest in combat sports and was also an all-state wrestler for the Cody Broncos.
Okay, let me start
A lot
by
of past
saying,
tense in there.
Yeah, I don't know when we've needed to call in the National Guard recently. Can you think of the last time the National Guard were like, we need the National Guard?
Katrina, whatever. I think we've
No?
used them in like
Natural disasters.
yeah, natural disasters,
Maybe,
but
yes.
never for like
That's the
handle
Coast
some
Guard.
shit.
I don't.
No, we put
Might
the
have been the
National,
National
Guard.
Guard.
National Guard?
Yeah.
In a state of emergency.
It feels
Yeah, but
like
under the context you're thinking, no. You're
No,
right.
You don't want Skylar Landerman showing up.
no. We don't
If
want
there's
to.
an issue.
By the way, what's going on with the National Guard?
I know.
Right?
They're letting Landerman
Unless it's a
in there.
reptile war.
Landerman,
Then you want him front line.
Landerman is frontlining in the
Yes.
when the reptiles take over.
Skylar Landerman was subdued again and
No.
seemed to calm down. You know what's a great thing to do when he's finally calmed down?
Get him the fuck out
Get
the
him
door.
outside.
sit him down.
Why do that? While police were en route, however, Graham and the bystanders. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a part, and I probably.
People start joining in to
Yes,
watch.
luckily at the point when he got punched for trying to call the cops, a different movie had ended and two patrons came to Graham's aid.
Okay.
What movie did they walk out of where they were like, let's go?
Yeah.
Different
I'm trying
movie.
to think
though.
what's out now that would be.
I was going to
Boss
say
Baby?
Moana, but I don't think
Boss
that's right.
Baby.
I don't think either of those are right.
It's awesome. This is what, we're back to Beaverson. Quote, it's awesome to live in Cody because people aren't scared to jump in and help. Sounds like my kind of town.
Is that why it's awesome to live in Cody?
Yeah, back
Yes.
it up a bit because
Yeah.
they're not. Finish the sentence. It's awesome to live in Cody because people aren't afraid to jump in and help when someone's on an acid trip
That's
at the
right.
cinema
Punching
on
you.
Sunday nights.
And
Seeing
punching your
reptiles.
dumb face.
I mean, we have a lot of people going on acid trips trying to punch people in the face. Thank God we live in Cody where
Right.
people aren't afraid to stop in.
We got a yin and a yang to our problems
Right?
here. So anyway, they subdue him again. Landerman was subdued again by the Good Samaritans and by Graham. Beaverson still, he's home for the night. Like you said, great time to get him to leave. No. While police were en route, Graham and the bystanders let Skylar Landerman back up and his behavior escalated again, end quote.
He's like a wave. He's like the ocean. He just keeps coming.
Skylar, we let you up. You all good? I'm good, you reptile
good.
motherfuckers. I'm good.
Oh,
I am
oh,
settled
nope,
down.
nope,
What did
nope,
you say?
nope.
I said I'm good.
Are you good?
Oh,
Are you
no,
good?
After that,
Are
part.
you good?
Lay him down.
Just let me up really quick.
He's going to be fine.
Put your foot in his back.
I'm not going to put my
Don't you let him up.
I see you smelling me with your tongue.
Nope.
Keep him down.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Are you sure you're going to be fine?
Are you fine?
Are you sure you're going to be fine?
I'm fine. We're totally
good.
fine.
We're all fine. Everyone's fine. Look at me in the eye.
You pointed teeth.
No.
What'd you say?
You got big insides.
No.
What are you talking about?
say
You're
that.
ruining it for
I
yourself.
think he's fine, guys.
Are you fine? Are you fine?
Yes, look at me with your yellow eyes. I'm completely fine.
He might not
Keep
be
him down.
fine.
Keep him down.
I'm fine. Let me up.
Are
Let
you
him up.
fine?
No!
It's that.
Oh, no, I wasn't joking. The next quote, literally, Skylar Landerman then tore his shirt off and jumped onto the counter of the snack bar.
Yep.
Beaverson, get down.
It's like now you can't serve those snacks anymore because you got his Landerman sweat all over the goddamn
sweat.
place.
When he arrived, Officer Harris wrote, quote, Landerman was screaming about nonsensical and irrational things such as reptilian people.
Okay.
3 Cody police, 2 Park County Sheriff deputies, and a Wyoming Highway Patrol. I mean, he ran the cycle.
Yeah,
on
he
that,
got
right?
everybody.
Ultimately subdued Landerman.
Is it?
This is why I stopped doing acid.
Well, I was going to say it's kind of nice
Have
to
you
me.
done acid? No. Me either. Did
Me
you guys
either.
done it?
Me
No.
either. I've
Jay?
never done
No,
it.
I've done mushrooms, but never
Mushrooms
acid.
are never acid. To me, this is
Acid was too far.
What I kind
Mushrooms
of
and
like, and I'm just
punch
going to say this on some level, I like that acid is still making people
Do crazy stuff?
talk about reptilians and stuff like that. I think to me it shows that the universe is still in the right place.
Sure.
Like you do acid, you're going to see reptilian people.
Well, no, this is the story that like you tell your kids.
Remember
so
when
they don't do
Landerman
it.
went crazy and started seeing reptilians?
Do you want that to happen to
That's why
you?
you don't do acid.
I don't get the appeal. Like if it's like, okay, do this acid and you'll see stuff like reptilian people.
That's
There's
terrible.
a type of person that's like, yes, this sounds like a good afternoon.
No one would say it because the truth is, if I were to see reptilian people, I'd like to not be on a drug. Like
Yes.
I would rather have all my faculties to know how to get away from it.
Or at least a more controlled environment. Like if you're just with like your 2 best friends in like Monument Valley, I could see that maybe going better.
No, if someone told me take this and bad music will suddenly sound great, all right.
I'm in.
I can
I'm
work
in.
with that.
I
I
could
love
take
it.
this and this will be the best chocolate bar you've ever eaten. All over it.
Sure.
Take this and reptiles start appearing.
No
No.
fucking way.
I don't
Hard
want
pass.
it. That's
Well, we're in dumb
Hard
people
pass.
town, so you're always 3 feet from a reptile
Right.
anyway.
Also, you know this wasn't Landerman's first acid.
Oh,
No.
get
So
ready.
he's shooting from he's fast and loose with it.
This was not
he's
his
taking
first-
it alone and going to the movies. He knows what could happen.
Sal, you just hit the nail on the head.
This is not his first reptile rodeo.
I'll ride you. When Landerman was being loaded onto a gurney for transport to the hospital, and
like Hannibal Lecter style.
Yes.
When you say loaded on a gurney, I
That's
imagine
like on a
the
two-wheel dolly
Yeah.
that's like strapped in.
like face guard, like hockey mask on.
An EMT, quote, told Landerman that she was going to give him an IV. Landerman replied, quote, I've had so much coke, it won't even help. Skylar was then asked how much cocaine he had taken, and he stated, quote, all of it.
In the world. In the world.
Yes, he Pablo Escobar'd his night.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He also told police he had taken LSD. So he went for the drug cycle
Yeah.
on this stuff.
Yeah, well, acid is LSD.
Oh, that's
but
right.
Still.
Yeah, of course. There's my
Landerman
education.
no stranger to hyperbole.
No, none.
He's the
How
most
much do you have? All of
hyperbolic
it.
person in the history of space and time.
At about 1:15 a.m. Monday, Landerman was released from the hospital and taken to jail. The next day, he pleaded guilty to everything. Him being remorseful is my favorite image.
Oh, that was all me. Yeah, I guess I did
I
that.
really apologize.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
just happy I'm not seeing reptiles right now. I'm just happy you are not a kimono dragon, sir.
The Beeve said an employee meeting for workers at Bighorn Cinemas was scheduled for Tuesday night. Quote, this is from the Beeve. My manager, Graham, handled exactly the way you're supposed to. I would disagree on
Totally
3
disagree.
different incidents.
He did not get him out of the place.
He called 911.
The beef needs everyone to like
The
him.
Beeve wants everyone to like him. Call me the Beeve!
The cinema owner said remarkably no damage had been done during the altercation. That sounds like a shitty movie theater.
Yeah.
to me. Come on, he couldn't even rip open some Reese's Pieces.
But still, like the damage was done internally. Like they
Yeah.
had to watch this and be fearful of it for the rest of their lives.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys, and we're going to get out on this. How old is Skylar Landerman?
Too much fun leaves marks in life. Living hard, you'll pay the price. Who is gonna get it right? Guess the age. Guess the age.
Okay, Sal, you have the opportunity. You can go first or last again. You have
I'm going to switch it up this time. I'm going to go last.
Okay. Randy or Jason, either one of you?
I think he's 21 years old.
21.
Yep.
From Randy Sklar.
No, he's older than that, Ren. First of all, I think there should be Skylar Landerman action figures.
Yep,
like
definitely.
I want
There might be.
shirt
ripped off.
Yeah, but jeans.
Standing on top of a candy
high-waisted jeans,
Right.
shirt off, white.
Right.
Super white. Sneakers,
knife.
a brand that we don't know. Like, are those Avias? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And on the
But
box where you buy it, next to him is a little like word bubble that says all of it.
all of it.
I'd like him to
Squeeze
say
the
2
stomach.
phrases if you push the button.
Right. How much coke did you have? All of it.
Are you a reptile, bro? And then the very apologetic, my bad.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It took
Jay,
all of it.
your guess.
29.
29 from Jason,
29
21
grown
from
men.
Randy to our guest on the show.
I
Sal.
didn't go with my instinct the last 2 times.
Go
the
with your
first
instinct.
thing that popped into my head was 22.
Okay, good.
22.
So you're
But-
22,
yeah,
20,
yeah.
that's fine. How old is Skylar Landerman?
Skylar Landerman is 20 years old.
Nice.
Randy
Wow.
gets
Your price is right to me.
Price is right, even though we all went over.
How young can you be in, like, the National Guard?
I guess.
it. He's new,
I
fresh
mean,
out.
Well, you know what? He's making great choices in life. Why not have him protect people with a gun? All
How
right.
great would it be if that whole incident was filmed and that becomes an ad for recruitment for the National Guard?
Yeah.
Look what you could get into. You could do this.
Yeah.
This could be your life.
Skylar Landerman. All right, guys, that's segment 2, Down the Books, Dumb People Town. Sal, I'm so happy you're here with us. We'll be back with a little more Dumb People Town right after this.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
Everybody, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Hit the Facebook page. We can't say this enough. If you guys, if you're new to this show because you're listening to Sal and you're a fan of his and you're coming to the show for the first time, if you love it or if you hate it, rate it, review it, give it 5 stars. Let people know. It helps us rise up and let other people know about our show. And definitely join the Facebook page. It's such a blast.
So
we love
much fun.
it. All right, Dan, you got
Here
one
we go.
last
Yes,
story?
and I'm going to tell you guys right now. I will read you the story pretty much straight up. Jump in as you want, but these are 2 of the dumbest people
That we've ever had in Dumb People Town?
it's not even close.
Okay.
How dumb
I
these
always
people are.
love it. It makes me, in some level, and I think when people listen to this show, on some level, you feel better about
They are
your own
just
life.
straight.
Absolutely.
It's like
straight.
looking at a group of Nazis
Dumb.
and being like, this is the worst guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're in that range
Okay,
with
fine.
these guys. Okay.
Sent in by D in Colorado, old friend of the show.
Old friend of the
Love
show
him on
tweets
Twitter.
at us.
Yes.
Great dude.
At Noble_Darren. 2 R's in Darren.
Great.
Casper police arrested 2 Colorado men Tuesday afternoon. This might be in Wyoming, too. Isn't that Wyoming? Casper, Wyoming?
No, Colorado. Did he
No,
say-
no, they're from Colorado.
Oh,
but Casper, I'm pretty sure is
don't know,
Wyoming.
maybe.
Let
I'm
us
not
know,
sure.
fellow townies. Casper police arrested 2 Colorado men. I know this doesn't take place in Colorado. Tuesday afternoon, after one of the men, reported that someone stole his marijuana. So one of the guys reports to the police that someone stole his marijuana, which is a controlled substance
Not legal in that state.
in Wyoming and illegal to possess.
Okay.
So calling in and saying that someone stole yours
Yep.
is
Is
implicating
indicting yourself that you owned it.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
Police arrived at the Motel 6. Where else would this take place?
This has got to be. Hey,
Sir,
well,
someone else is having sex with my prostitute.
Right.
Nope.
No,
Can't do it.
can't do
Don't
it.
say that.
This has all the trimmings of a vintage Dumb People Town story.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you.
Police arrived at the Motel 6 on Wilkins Circle just after 2 p.m. after hotel management reported that a customer came to the desk to report that his marijuana was missing from his room. Officers responded to the motel.
So he's blaming now
the hotel.
Yeah, he's blaming like
someone at the. I call it a hotel. Someone at the
motel. Yeah, let's be clear.
Officers responded to the motel and encountered the man who reported the theft, later identified as Eric Jarin.
Well, that's Jarin.
Quote, I made the report, Jarin told an officer. According to the arrest evidence.
Yes, you called in and
called it in.
It was my weed that was stolen.
Okay.
That's another
But making
quote.
the reports, to me, overstates what he did.
Right.
Yes.
I called in.
You called in. Making a report signifies that you did something creatively.
Right.
You made something.
You could report the crime, which is what he did, but he didn't make anything.
Yeah, he didn't get down to a
mess.
clerical level.
He's like trying to get official with the cop. Yeah. I'm the one that called you in on that report there.
I made the report.
I'm glad you're here. What?
I made the report. He said it was my weed that was stolen.
I called in the 148. No, sir, that's actually when a large woman is largely naked.
Yeah,
exactly.
largely naked.
Yeah, you need to learn your codes.
Jarin says it was my weed that was stolen. Jarin then handed the officer his Colorado driver's license and medical marijuana card. This person does not understand the concept of state lines.
Yep.
Gotta keep it in your state.
Jarin told the officer that he was in town working at Albertsons. He said he came home from work and, quote, wanted to smoke a bowl, but couldn't find his marijuana, according to the affidavit. He then went to the front desk to report the missing drugs and waited outside for police to arrive so he could directly report the theft to the officers. Do you imagine this person at the motel? It's like, you want me to call the cops and say something?
Yeah.
And you're going to wait outside to
Oh,
talk
no,
to them
I'm
yourself?
right. I'm right. This is a guy who's like, I'm right.
But he's
I've been right my
working
whole
at
life.
Albertsons, the grocery store?
Yeah.
So he's just in town, like,
he's like on an Albertsons
Doing a
exchange
load-in.
program.
Look, we know, when all those Albertsons workers come to town, this city swells.
Yeah.
It swells
like the
with-
gold rush of 1849.
Yeah, coming to the produce department of Albertsons.
Officers then asked Jarin, at this point, if you're the cop, you're like, let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Here we go.
They
What
then
else
asked
did you do
Jarin
wrong?
whether he had any other marijuana in his room, to which Jarin replied, quote, no, I have dabs in my room. Someone stole plant from weed. This quote is horrible. Someone stole plant weed from me.
So weed that was, I guess, from a plant.
Yeah, he's breaking it up.
But what he's realizing this whole
Do you know what dabs are?
What?
Did you
I
know
have it
what
right
dabs
here.
are?
He then told officers that dabs, which are concentrated
drops, yeah.
cannabis extract.
Yeah,
drops.
Just drops.
Yes.
I've used those.
But my question is, at what point does he realize that he's talking to the wrong people? Like, throughout this conversation, he seems to be like, I can't wait to see the looks on their faces when they realize they have a chance to help someone out.
The look on their
He has
faces.
no idea that he's fucking this
Oh,
up.
yeah. The look he's getting is, are you the dumbest person we've ever talked
Like
to?
they're not even writing in their book.
They don't
at this
need
point.
to.
They're just,
Yeah.
what else?
They'll probably be like, this motherfucker will write it all down for us.
right.
Say it into the walkie.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Jeff, you on dispatch?
Jeff, make sure everyone back at the place can hear this.
I'm here. Go for
So
it.
you bought this weed and you brought it in.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
I brought it.
it.
You
Hell
brought it
yeah,
into
bud, it's my
Wyoming.
weed.
It's my weed, over.
Over. He's like throwing it over. You want me to talk? I'll talk straight to Jeff.
Yeah, just say over at the
Yeah.
end of it so they know you're done talking.
You know, I'm doing that Wyoming Southern dialect.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, though.
Okay. We're from He said they had dabs at his room. Jarin then led officers to his room and showed them the dabs, a glass pipe, and a torch lighter. He's bragging at this point.
This is what I got. This is where that weed could have been. You know, all that illegal weed that I'm not supposed to have here? It could have been in these
And
devices.
it should have been.
Officers then arrested Jarin for possession of marijuana.
At what point did they say, all right, let's go. All right, enough of
I'm
this.
going to do you a
seen
favor here before you show us a dead body.
You guys don't get it. I'm not in possession of the marijuana.
I'm
trying to get it back.
Oh, you're going to tell me dabs are illegal?
You're
now?
arresting me for not in possession?
Yes.
Possession is 9/10
If
of the
you guys
law.
thought that we couldn't raise the dumb level on this,
Here we
you
go.
were wrong. Another man, smelling strongly of marijuana, strolled up the stairs as officers were arresting and investigating the stolen
This
marijuana.
is like our buddy John Bush. John Bush, one of the greatest comedians. We love him. Loved him so much. He's in Minneapolis now. I think he's doing plays and stuff.
But he was in New York. He told the story about how he after a gig on the road, he got super, super high in his room. This is way
hotel
before.
room, like hotel
room. And he hears a knock on the door.
He thinks it's his door.
opens the door and like a cloud of like smoke rolls out. It's the cops knocking on the door across the hall from him.
Nope.
And they're knocking and then they start knocking slower and slower and turn and look at him.
He's like, I should have just gone back in. Instead, there's just this cloud of weed coming out. He's like, and his joke is, I knew I was going to jail, so I stuck 2 fingers up my own ass just to get it out of the way.
Just to get the party started. That's how much he knew he was going to prison.
Well, this guy, that would make him smart. These people,
You knew
Not
he
so
strolled
funny.
upstairs whistling.
Whistling and reeking.
high as a kite while they're arresting his friend. Strolling strongly, he strolls up the stairs as officers investigated the stolen marijuana, according to a separate affidavit. At the request of officers, the man identified himself as Christopher Rath. What's your name? Christopher Rath, high as a kite. What's your name?
I imagine him just eating a peach at that point.
Rath told police this is what he told police, that he had just come back from smoking marijuana because he was not allowed to smoke in the hotel room. I follow the rules.
Hey, listen, man.
Hey, you guys, I can be straight with you guys, right?
You're the guys that can really just spill it all.
You're taking him in, not me.
First off, I love that you guys match. Your clothes are matching.
Doesn't get it.
You guys are cool.
Can I hold your? What is that? A gun?
Is that a club?
Rath told police he had just come back from smoking marijuana because he was not allowed to smoke in his room.
Is this Dave Rath?
Officers asked how much marijuana Rath had, to which he
All of it.
All of it. Oh, that's the guy before.
to which he responded, "This is just as good."
Skyler.
So they go, "How much weed
we
you got
get?"
there, Christopher Rath?" Quote, "Not a lot. I can get it for you." He says,
my
"Not a lot. I can get it for you." Well, you guys want to get in on this?
Yeah.
You guys got bracelets that
You
we
guys
can put on? We
you
can
guys
put
want
bracelets
some?
on our hands.
You guys
Yes.
want some?
You're gonna
These are
get
shiny.
wait. You're gonna give us shiny bracelets to put on
Do
our
I get
hands.
to keep these? You guys are nice.
Amazing.
Officer
You
followed.
guys are giving us a lift?
Yeah.
What's this spray? I put this just right in my eyes and it feels really good? What?
Officers
spritz.
followed Rath into his room and showed them his weed. Check this shit out.
Look at this.
Which totaled about 2.86 grams. The officers then arrested Rath as well. I'm going to show you a picture of these guys.
Yeah. And we'll post this up on the Facebook.
Rath has the goatee, okay? And then our buddy Jarin is clean shaven. Jarin especially, I mean, they look dim.
Dumb
These
and
two.
dumb.
Oh, yeah.
The moment they realize they're getting arrested, I feel like they both
They
just
do look
cried.
like
Dumb
versions
and
of
Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, oh, they do.
Don't they a little bit? Same haircuts.
Both men were booked into the Natrona County Detention Center on suspicion of possession of marijuana. Where's the suspicion?
Yeah. I love that. They're like,
You don't need to hedge your bets that much.
Yeah.
This is
Show you.
mine, and here it is.
This is mine, and I
Even
go get it for
they're
you.
arguing that charge. Why you keep saying suspicion, man? I have weed.
Let me show it to you.
They're called dabs.
I showed it to them.
Let me try and sell it to a minor in front of you. Why can't I do that?
Those are our stories, boys.
Listen,
love
I love.
our
There's a lot of
stories.
drug use in the thing today.
There was a lot of
whenever,
dumb people.
Whenever there is drug use, we always like to hear from someone who has done an extensive amount of drugs. The fact that he's still alive
Is its own miracle.
And so we called him up, and he called us back and left a voicemail. We're, of course, talking about Chris Christopherson, who at any moment is on a cocktail of opiates and barbiturates and uppers and
I
downers.
said
and
hibiscus.
Hibiscus plants, anything really at any point in time.
Peyote.
But he had a crazy experience where he dropped acid and then
Then went to watch his
one
own-
of his own. Well, we'll let you hear it.
Hey, boys. It's me, Chris Christopherson. And I just want to wish you all a merry June and a happy summertime. You know, while I got you on the phone, I'm remembering back to a time in which I took a large amount of hallucinogenic drugs. I mean, you name it, and it was ingested into my system. I mean, peyote, LSD, mescaline, a large vat of Astro Pops that I got from an ice cream truck. You know, just standard run-of-the-mill 70s drugs. And then I turned to my good friend, or at least I think he was my friend. It very easily could have been a small palm tree. And I turned to him and I said, how about we go check out one of my movies? And he said, sure, let's do it. So I went to the old local Cinemaplex and watched a little movie by the name of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. which I starred in as good old Billy the Kid, of course. I'm not some fucking cop like Pat Garrett turned out to be. And now, I have to tell you boys something. When you're on massive amounts of hallucinogenic drugs, and then you see yourself up on a movie screen, it is very disturbing. I thought that I had died and left my body and had somehow traveled back in time into the Wild West. Never at any point did I have any sort of memory of being on set and shooting that movie like a normal person would have seen themselves on the screen and been like, I remember shooting that scene, but I did not remember that at all. I just felt like I had left my body and was back in the Old West, and I felt at times that I could manipulate what I was saying, but again, I very well could have just been on the ground asleep because, of all the hallucinogenics. So in summation, I would just tell all the listeners to get out, and when you're going to be using an inner tube on the river, just to make sure to use basic aquatic safety. That's what I originally called about, right? I don't know. I'm currently on top of a whale in the middle of the Indian Ocean, so sometimes the sun gets to me. All right, you guys be excellent to each other.
Yeah, why does none of that surprise me? I just feel like
how is he alive?
It's a Sunday night at 11 for him.
Right?
Look, but I feel like in some ways, there are those people who can just turn into the skid of life.
Yeah, sure.
And
the more they do, and if they stopped, they would die.
If they stopped, they would die.
If they suddenly tried to get healthy, they would die.
Yeah.
I mean, this is their course.
This is their course. You got to leave them on it.
He calls in, huh?
Yeah,
he does. Let's mess him for us. He likes calling in for us.
Former singer. He's in the Grammy Museum downtown.
He is in the Grammy Museum.
Well.
Current badass.
And he's just so open with this.
Again, here's my weed. I'll go get it for you. I have it, and I'll go get it for you.
Those two dudes.
Nice
so
situation.
dumb.
Here's my weed. I'll go get it for you. Might have to be the name of the show.
Yeah. Well, hey, that was a great episode. Thank you so much,
guys.
Sal Vulcano.
Thank you. That was so much fun. Thank you.
Great to have you. Watch Impractical Jokers. Follow him on Twitter. Go see him live when he does comedy. Go to salvulcano.com.
No.
All right.
You should
Someone
get one
bought
of
it.
Oh, what?
I'm in the process of picking a different name.
Get a different name, impracticaljoker.com.
Could be.
There you go. You never know.
No, you'll do that. And he's a great stand-up who's writing so much new material, and he's really developing into a phenomenal comedian that you got to go check out when you can.
Thank you so much.
That's it. Hey, we'll see you guys at the live show on the 8th at the Starburns Castle. If you're in LA, check the Dumb People Town Facebook page. Join it, and you can find out more information and get your tickets there because we want to sell that out. Special guest TBD. We'll let you know that as it nears. But thanks, guys. We'll see you there, and
we're out.
Yeah, let's get back to work.
Dum 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 dum.